Hey, it's Dave Knight here from 123daytrade.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Today was Monday. I don't know what the date is. I think it's July 23rd or 4th. That's how um, out of touch with reality I am right now. I'm on my last week of vacation. I decided that I'm going to take the next few days and most likely start looking at the practice account probably on inventory day. I am back home. We spent last week in Florida. We were in Destin, Florida, on the panhandle of Florida. But I think it's about 50 miles from Panama City. It's real close to 3 Air Force bases there, so I felt kind of at home there. My dad was in the Air Force, and there was um, fighter planes flying over pretty much well, I wouldn't say all the time, but enough that you would look up and you'd see them, and it was pretty cool. That was I think it's called, if I mispronounce it, I apologize, but Eglin Air Force Base. It's in outside of, that's ones that, and there was two others there, but that's where the fighters were flying out of. So on one day, they were flying in pretty close proximity to each other, and on the beach, and when I was sitting there, you could watch them come across. It was pretty cool seeing them that way. Probably the neatest thing that we did as a family unit, there was 14 of us all together. So it was my brothers and their wives and their families, plus my mom, so that it's 14 of us, and we'd all fit into a 15 passenger van. We ended up on going on a dolphin cruise, and that was kind of cool. But it wasn't at first because it was well, I wouldn't say it wasn't. It was interesting, but until it was like, oh, we're going to see dolphins at all at this point. I mean, I've seen dolphins before, but this dolphin that we saw on whatever day it was last week, I think it was Wednesday of last week. It swam right at the bow of the ship, or the very front. I apologize. I don't know all the ship. Is it the stern or whatever? The front part of the ship, and I was on at the front, and it was right below, and it was actually quite entertaining to watch. It would swim just as fast as the ship itself would go, and then it was starting to show off a little bit. It would turn to its side, take its fin, and come up and do kind of like wave, and turn to its side again, and keep on swimming, keep on going. It was actually kind of cool. So not something I get to see every day. We took some morning walks on the beach, and were able to and just enjoy. Well, I should say my wife and I just enjoy our time there. The place was a house. My mom rented a home. We helped with that, but it was nice. I mean, we had the bottom floor with my kids. Were on one side and we were on the other. It had its own TVs and gaming system, and it had a full kitchen. And so we ended up going out to eat on 3 nights, and then each family unit made dinner for everybody. We made spaghetti and meatballs because I have the most ethnic of the families. My wife is Italian, if you know that, 100% Italian. And she and the boys asked if she would go ahead and make spaghetti and meatballs. So we made spaghetti and meatballs, and it was fun. We made sauce, and uh, uh, actually we did the canned sauce this time, but we added and doctored to it because we didn't want to make homemade sauce. That'd just take too long. Some noodles, and we made homemade meatballs. So it was fun. My other brother and his wife, they made this really good chicken. Um, I don't even. It was marinated chicken, but it was not like anything else I've tasted before. It was really good. It kind of had it seemed like a pineapple taste to it too. It was actually quite tasty. And my middle brother, that would be my youngest brother and his wife, and their kids, and then my middle brother, they had a Taco Tuesday, which ended, I think it was Taco Thursday, but so they had a taco bar, which is really cool, and they had chicken and meat, and so that was like 3 nights of meals, and making enough for enough people to eat. That's always a challenge. The only thing that we would run out of would be ice. I enjoyed my rum and cokes, or I should say rum and And then I'm not really much of a beer drinker. I'll drink a beer every so often, but I'm not a huge beer drinker. Although I do like Yingling occasionally. And I had got me, I had a pina colada was there, and my wife had one, and we made frozen concoction on one night with rum. Um, that was good. I was feeling pretty good that night, and overall, it was a neat experience. We had our own little private pool there. It was quite, it was nice. It had when you first got in, it was like 2 feet, and then it had its own little umbrella that you could stay under. The only thing it messed with it was on those all-inclusive bartender right there, so you could just order your drinks. But so it was fun, and the beach house to the beach was about I guess 2 city blocks away, 1 block until you got to the beach entrance itself, and then another whole city block to get to the beach itself, coming off of the public entrance to go into it. And there must be a restriction in that area as far as in Destin, Florida, how high a house can be, or how high a building can be in that area, because there was a lot of buildings that weren't any taller than 3 stories. So it seemed to be a 3-story restriction or something like that, which actually made it a lot nicer as far as beach access goes. Uh, anyway, my youngest son has never, well, he's been to the beach, but he'd never remember being in it before. So you get to the ocean, and it's like, what's the water taste like? And you can't explain salt water until you actually taste it, right? So how do you explain that to a 13-year-old? And so it is what it is. We have been in baseball. These kids have been in baseball, if not one, it's been the other, for the last 7, 8 years of their life. And you wonder if you're doing the right thing sometimes when you have a child and when you're teaching them. So they enjoyed sports. They got my youngest son got knocked out in his tournament at the district level. They didn't make it through. They got smacked out of districts. The 11-year-olds at West Point have made it to the state tournament, though, which is what they were hoping to do. They took all the talent at the 11-year-old, which was a considerable amount of talent there, and they put together kind of a super team to see how far they could go. They probably should have done it as 10-year-olds as well, but this year they at least did it right and put these kids together. Uh, so I don't know where I'm going with that. I just was talking about baseball real quickly. So I was glad it's over. This today would have been my first day of conditioning in football with the Hempfield Youth Program. After being in it for a considerable amount of years, this is my first year that I'm no longer coaching at the youth level, which is kind of bittersweet in a way. That means my kids are not, after being involved in the program for over 10 years of my life, now they're both out of the program, and one's in middle school football and the other's in high school football. My oldest has a shot to start on varsity this year, probably on the offensive line, maybe even at guard, or definitely get some playing time at defensive end. They have, but they're in the highest classification in here in Western Pennsylvania, in the state of Pennsylvania, in 6A. So I don't know how that's going to pan out. I mean, they're going to need the starters are going to need a breather going both ways in this case. So that's probably how he's going to get in, and hopefully he can make the punt team. He's a pretty good long snapper. My youngest son is going out for the 7th, 8th combined team, and he'll start on the. Actually, they're working him in at tight end, which I'm kind of I'm really interested in. I was a running back, a strong safety when I was playing up until my senior year, and then they put me into I shouldn't say forced me. We didn't have enough size up front, and they put me at middle linebacker, and that was not the best year that I enjoyed. I enjoyed being in the back and making the hit from strong safety as opposed to having to play up front. I actually preferred offense more, though. I was better on the running back side. What else is going on? There's not too much going on right now. I'm still in, like I said, if you watch this and you're coming in here, I'm still in vacation mode, enjoying my time that I have left of whatever vacation. This is the front of my house, by the way, if you're wondering what it is. I'm sitting outside enjoying the shade. Our house has the afternoon shade to the front, and the sun sets in, well, obviously you know the sun sets in the west. Got to think about that for a second. Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Well, our house, backside of the house faces west, so we get the afternoon sun, which is not so bad in the wintertime, but in the summertime here, in the middle of summer, it can get kind of on the hot side on the other side. Well, welcome back to Pennsylvania and the overcast, right? So I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of clearing out today, but it's been it's been kind of the day we got back was 78. We left 99% humidity on Saturday. When we came back, we left I think about 10:30, 11:30 Eastern time, and got back in at home around 5 p.m. Eastern time. By the time we got something to eat and whatnot, it was about 5 p.m. we got in, and it was an experience. I know that my mom and and my youngest brother and their family took them pretty much all day to get back to Nashville, and we got to fly back to outside. Well, I live outside Pittsburgh, PA, so we had to go through. If you're familiar with Pittsburgh, going back towards the east, I had to go back through the Fort Pitt Tunnel and through the Squirrel Hill tunnels and go up over the Three Rivers. If you're familiar with Pittsburgh at all, that when you come in town from the airport, and it opens up into one of the prettiest panoramic views I've ever can think of in my lifetime. The city of Pittsburgh opens up right outside that tunnel, and then you have Heinz Field to the left, and PNC Park there to the left as well, across the river on the north side of Pittsburgh. So we actually head out towards Monroeville and go out towards the Greensburg area where I live. Oh, that's it. I just wanted to talk real quick and bring you up to speed. I am looking officially at starting my, I would say my trading starting next Monday. I might start this week on the inventory day, just to get reacclimated to trading again. My neighbor's getting ready to mow, so that's probably a good reason and a good way to get off here. So this is Dave Knight here from 123 Day Trade. I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate you paying attention, and we'll see you soon. God bless, take care. I'll see you in the next video I put together. Bye for now.